Hey everybody, welcome back to the Photog experience. And on today's episode, we're going to dive in to the brand new series, The Exposure. Let's go. So basically what The Exposure is, it's like mini photo contests. The awesome thing about The Exposure is all of the photos that are in these contests are submitted by you all. And I have to say, there is some amazing imagery that was submitted. I just want to thank you all so much for being a part of the very first episode of The Exposure. We didn't have a lot of submissions, but the ones we did get were amazing, and I can't wait to talk about them, and I can't wait to share them with you all. Now, at the end of the video, I will kind of go over what I think is the best photo of this particular theme. Now, each episode is going to have a different theme. This particular episode has the theme, the beach. And you all submitted your beach photos to me, and I'm excited to share them with you all. Now, at the end of the video, I will go over who I think won, who I think has the best image. Now, with that, you're going to be crowned the winner, so you're going to be featured, of course, on this video, and you're going to be featured on all of my social media platforms, and you're going to be featured on my website. Now, all of your social media tags and handles and the links to your YouTube channels and things like that will be shared, so that hopefully you all will get some great exposure through that as well. So I'm excited, and let's start. Alright, so the very first submission is from Kevin Simmons. Now in this particular photo, now if you all see me looking down, I'm sorry, I have the images on my phone, as well as right here for you all. Now in this particular image, I think the exposure is great. I think it looks like it's very well exposed. I think it's done very well. He shot this actually on his T3, which is a Canon Rebel. Very good camera. The only things I see that I would change is if you look on the left-hand side of the photo, you'll see the little cabana, lofty, you'll see like the canopy kind of cut off. I'm not a huge fan of things being cut off when they're a huge part of the photo. So what I would do is I would have moved over just an inch or two to get the full canopy in there. And then also what I would have done is kind of gone down a little bit. One also thing about photography is 5 people can take the same exact shot in just different angles, and they can all look completely different. I wonder what this would look like if you just went down just a little bit and got more in line with the sand. But overall, like, I think it's a great shot. I wish there was more clouds. I love seeing clouds with beach shots, but that's not something that's in your control. Now this next shot of his, it looks like he's in a dining area, probably like on Half Moon Cay or something like that. What I see is the colors look beautiful. The colors of the different canopies and the different places for people to sit, picnic tables and things like that, the colors just pop so nicely. What I would have loved to have seen is, if you can see on the left hand side, you can see like the column, like the post holding the roof up basically. I love when you use elements like that to kind of frame in the shot. So kind of at an angle too, so move your camera just a little more, and so you get the column kind of right on the edge of the frame, and then you get the other column right on the other side of the frame on the right hand side, and so you're using that kind of as a frame to really bring in the photo and bring in the audience to look at what you want them to look at. Now, what I also would have liked to have seen is the inside where the people are eating kind of darker, more of like a silhouette. It's hard sometimes to get that real effect, but I think with the foreground kind of being more in shadow and darker, it would have given the outside more of a pop. Thank you, Kevin Simmons, for those submissions, and those are some great photos. Thank you. So the next submission is from no other than Amanda Shows. Now, this photo is gorgeous. There's actually not much I would change about this photo. Like I said earlier, I would have liked to see more clouds. You can't handle that. The only thing I see, what I would like to see different, is I wonder what it would be like if you cut some of the grassy area off and kind of move the camera over a little bit. And speaking of camera, she also used the Canon Rebel T3. Again, beautiful digital SLR camera. But just to kind of crop off the grass just a little more and bend down just a little bit. Or what would have been really cool to see is you get closer to the boats to where they're more of a focus as well. I mean, they're a huge focus in this image right now, but just to get closer to, so you can see like one of the little boats going off the frame or something like that. But those are just kind of nitpicky, like they don't have to happen. Like, this is a really good shot. So thank you, Amanda, for sending that. So the next two photos submitted are from Jeannie Brock. These two photos, they're just nice. This very first one was taken with an iPhone 6 at Cocoa Beach, and just having that element of her making the heart is just really nice. I think it's a really cool element. I think it gives you something to grab your attention to, something to draw your eyes to, but it also, like, hey, this is a beautiful beach. Hey, this is the ocean. Hey, what's really cool is the tide is about to come in and completely wash it away. So I think the timing of the shot is great. One thing I would have loved to have seen is more sky and more water. Maybe move the camera up and over a little bit, to where the heart is kind of more in the bottom right hand frame and you get more of the water and more of the sky. But that's all. And the next shot is also Jeannie Brock, and this is in Grand Turk. Again, she does the heart, and you can tell that it's a beautiful day. Again, one thing I would like to see is more water, more actual sky and things like that. I know the focus wants to be the heart, but I think the heart can be just an element to really accentuate, to really make the rest of the area stand out. Yeah, also one kind of really nitpicky thing, granted, it is what it is I don't like the placement of the footsteps. I know that's just a thing. You step there and drew the heart and whatnot, and you really can't control that. But using that, using your footprint as an element in making the heart, I think would be really cool. But again, that's just nitpicky, and that doesn't need to happen. All right. Next shot is from Michelle Harrington. Now, she didn't send me any info of what she used. I think she probably used a cell phone for these shots. I don't know, but they are awesome. This very first shot is of Josh, and I believe that's his parents, or it's Michelle's parents. I don't remember. And I think this is when they were at a Half Moon Cay. I remember watching these vlogs, and like it feels like you're on a desolate island. Like, it feels like there's no one around you, and I love it. Like, it's just gorgeous. The clouds in the sky, looks like it's about to storm. It's beautiful. The only things I would have changed is there's a few things. Now, I like how you went kind of off center, went to the right a little bit. What I would have liked is that even more. So Josh and his parents, I believe, and the ship more to the right, and then you get more of the ocean. What would have been awesome is if you would have hunched down just a little bit, so you were more like an eye level. It looks like you're kind of up above them a little bit, and make it to where they're closer to the ship, to where they're more of a, like, the ship obviously is like one of the biggest focal points, but to get them kind of almost level, not exactly level, but almost level, would have been amazing. Or what would have been really cool is getting something like this, cropping it like this. I'll put that right here. I took a screenshot. I think something like this is just a really powerful photo as well. I think it's a really cool crop. So just kind of think about cropping and things like that when you're taking your images. Overall, it is a beautiful shot. Next, I believe this would probably be at like Mahogany Bay or something like that, and it's almost borderline panoramic photo. Again, it is gorgeous. Now, a few nitpicky things. Some people would like this, some people don't. I don't. In this photo, you can see just a tiny bit of the ship. I think you either need at least half of the ship or no ship at all. I think it's kind of like a tease. I think it needs more ship. But the rock formations, like, they're beautiful. You can see that little peninsula kind of looking out where the beach is and things like that. It would have been really nice to kind of use that as like that little peninsula thing as like a frame, so you didn't go past it, you stopped at the peninsula, so it was like at the edge of the frame, and then you were able to get down just a little bit to get really close to the rocks so you can really see the whole grand gesture of that whole area. But overall, very nice. Alright, we're currently running out of light. It's okay. I'll lighten it up. Alright, so the next shot is from Chris Harrelson. This shot is from Aruba, and it is beautiful. The exposure is a little off, but that happens when you have really dark areas and very bright areas. This was shot on his iPhone 6S. That's actually what I used for a very long time, and it's a beautiful camera on that phone. A few things that I would have changed: the ship, or that little boat, is just slightly off center. So in my mind, it needs to be completely in center or way off to the side. Having it kind of off just a little bit kind of makes it feel a little uneasy. What would have been really cool is if you would have waited just a little longer and let the ship get closer to the tree, and then you could have used the tree to kind of frame on the left side, to where like the tree is on this side and the ship is like right here, and it just frames really, really nicely. Just waiting for that few seconds more to really get that shot. I think it would have been a really nice touch with this photo, and it's a great photo. Thank you, Chris, appreciate that. So the next person is Mike Lovelace. He went ahead and submitted 3 images. I just want to thank him so much. These images are great, and let's just start talking about them. He uses Canon Rebel T2i, which is also another great camera. So if y'all are looking for a step up from a phone or something like that, I'd really recommend one of the Canon Rebel series. Again, I'm shooting on a Canon Rebel right now, and they're just good little cameras. Alright, so this first image that he has is of kind of trees kind of silhouetted. I think this is a beautiful sunset shot. I would have loved for the colors to pop a little more, either through editing or through choosing different settings on your camera. And I would have loved to have seen the shadows be more dark, to where it's like a real, like, legit hardcore silhouette. And one thing I'm not a huge fan of is, like I was talking about earlier with Michelle's photo with the ship, you can tell on the left hand side just a little bit of the tree is kind of peeking through. Either add more of that tree or completely take that tree out. One thing I would have liked to have seen is more water. I think sunsets at water would have been awesome. What I think would have been really cool is to get closer to that whole scene and let the trees really be like the frame of the shot and really see the sunset through. You can see the light trail on the water and everything, and it's just very good shot. Thank you. Alright, this next one that he sent is actually a lighthouse. I love lighthouses. I love what a lighthouse stands for. And then also with this particular image, you can see that the lighthouse is not exactly in center. Like I said earlier before, either make it completely in center or really off to the side. What I think would have been awesome about this shot is put the peninsula and the lighthouse kind of way far down and the right hand side, and it looks like that peninsula kind of cuts off, so it would have been really cool to see like the peninsula kind of cut, and then you just see more ocean and more sky. I think that would have been beautiful for something like this. Also, one thing you can change is the level of the horizon line with the lighthouse. It's almost at the very top of the lighthouse. Either bend down a little bit to where you have a little more definition between the horizon line and the top of the lighthouse. Now next is his son Anthony running on the beach. How can you not like kids running on the beach? It is just, you can get some amazing things with that. A few things that I would have changed is you can see that his head is cut off just a little bit. I know it's hard, especially when you're shooting with a digital SLR, trying to get everything in frame and shot at a right time because of focus issues and things like that. So I know it's kind of run and gun, but that's something you need to look into, is making sure your framing is right. One thing I think would have been awesome is if you were able to get the full body and you were able to actually see some action in the sand. You see his feet kind of running through the sand. I think that would have been really, really cute. Now he is perfectly in focus. He is tack sharp. The lighting on him is awesome. You can see where the sun is coming from. You can see that his face is not blown out, or it's not too far in shadow. I think it's just a really overall great shot So thank you, Mike, for that submission. I want to thank each and every one of you all for submitting these photos. Without you all, this particular series could not happen. And I'm super excited to see where this series can go. I'm super excited to see all the different people that hopefully will later submit their photos and really be a part of this whole community about just trying to improve your travel photography. Now, I don't want this just to be me critiquing these photos. Now, yes, all of these are a biased opinion. This is what I think. But I think it gives us a chance for us to get together and talk about these photos, to really think about, oh, well, maybe I could have changed this, or maybe I could have done this to really help make the situation and make the image just better overall. And that's what it is. It's a way for us as a community of creators, community of documenters, to just grow and get better at what we're already doing. So I want to thank you all for that. And now it's time to reveal who won the first week of the exposure. Now, this particular image, I had really nothing I would change about it. I think overall it was just done super, super well. The placement of the image, the placement of the sky, the things in the foreground, all of that stuff, all of that was amazing. So this week's winner of the exposure is Amanda Shows. This photo is amazing. Like, it's just, the exposure is good, the content is amazing, the way the sky looks, the way the sand looks, like all of it is just gorgeous. So Amanda, I want to thank you for submitting this photo. Now everybody, her Instagram, I'll go ahead and put it here. Her Instagram is Amanda_Cruz, and she actually has a really awesome YouTube channel with her husband called Shows Special Features. They have some amazing content, so I really encourage you all to go give them a like, and just go watch their content, and really just show them some love. So thank you all for participating. This has been a great first episode of the exposure. Now the comment section below is gonna be open. So what I want to know is what the viewer's choice would be. So go ahead and go like this video, and go ahead and go to the comment section and let me know what you would have chosen to be the winner of this week, so it can be crowned the crowd favorite. If you all like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you have not, please consider subscribing. And on this first episode, I'm super excited to see where this goes, and I have a lot more ideas for the future and a lot more things kind of running in the background, and I can't wait to share it with you all. Thank you all for watching.